bongosi siyaqhubana nalo kwehlelo namhla ekseni nasanza kulela umsakazo wakho buka umsakazo uThombe Eswatini TV sehlelweni kusile breakfast show lomhla ekseni ngalwesihlanu zabe sifuna kungena kuyo ke bongosi insaba nje lemnanzi le ikakhulukati Maswatini ikakhulukati naba nje labathanza the technology ngiyabona ukuthi ngoba umhlaba uyathuthuka singena nje ku fourth industrial revolution kusebenza kakhulu akusebenze mandla kusebenza kakhulu le technology angethule bongosi izivakashi sethu la ngibabe Nhlanhla Simelane. He's the co-founder and also the CEO of a financial technology company called Eswatini. Yabona abantu abasevi musi yaqhamuka lapho ke legama leli Eswatini. Bayisimelana ngivusele ngwamukele ehlelweni namhla.
Ngiyabonga Lethini.
Kasike lo umnyano tabe sinaye ke ngetebuchwepheshe bongosi ngumfanelo Ndlovu sitabeke sinaye ku Zoom lo tasijoyina naye kule ngqondo yethu lesitabe siteka asengintothiwa nje lokuthi ngiyakhona ukuthi ngichumane naye mfanelo ngiyakuvusela nawe ngiyakwemukela ehlelweni kusile breakfast show namhla ekseni ngalesihlanu.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuba
Okay, number 1. Angicale ngawe babe Simelane. Ngiyayitfola le company is a financial technology company. What exactly are you guys doing?
So thanks for the opportunity, Linton. So at the moment, currently, we're building a banking platform.
Okay.
Just some context on the banking platform. So it's the first banking platform in the world to use a technology called blockchain.
Okay.
Now, the technology will allow for banking to be cheaper. So if I can just address the audience, is that sometimes when you go to a bank, you find that you deposit money, the bank uses your money to give out loans.
Yeah.
But they only give you a small amount for the deposit that you make. But yet, for the same money, they ask for high interest for your house. It doesn't make any sense. For example, your interest is only 2%, but the loan you are paying might be 10, 15%. The reason for that is because of operational expenses of a bank. So this technology will allow those operational expenses to go down. So what you'll find is that banks now can offer more interest for you. So instead of giving you 2%, they can give you 5%. And then in terms of when you come to them for a home loan, instead of you paying 15%, for example, you can pay 7%.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we were to do the calculation, that can easily maybe give you back 10% of maybe your income per month. So it is quite revolutionary in a sense that people have more money in their pockets. On top of that, the people who actually built the banking platform are people we trained in just 1 year. And we trained them on artificial intelligence and blockchain, which is the latest technology in the world at the moment.
Okay.
And in partnership with our client, Lightbank. Lightbank has got a presence in 10 African countries. They've got a strong base here in Eswatini. And they approached us and said, you guys have trained these people to make these amazing technologies. Can you train more people? And that is what exciting for me. Currently, we're talking with people from Botswana and Nigeria. And essentially what they want to do, they want to train their population on these new technologies.
Okay.
So what we do is that we run a 2-year program. In the first year, we'll actually train them on how to run these technologies, which is essentially programming. The second year, the first half of the second year, we train them on entrepreneurship, on how to be entrepreneurs. And we introduce them in terms of where these things can be applied, these technologies. Just as an appetizer to your audience, one of the things we're looking at is to build a stock exchange through this technology. And this stock exchange will be for startups. Big stock exchanges like the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, like in New York, are for big companies.
Yeah, big companies, of course.
But how do you raise money as a small company?
Okay.
Big money, we're not talking about small money, but as a small company. So one of the initiatives we want to do in partnership with people like Light is to build a platform, almost a stock exchange platform for small companies. Now, to build a stock exchange previously, before this technology, was very difficult. The wonderful thing about blockchain is actually quite easy to build it. So in the second year, like I said, of our program, the people will be able to be trained on entrepreneurship. And the people who train these people are myself. I'm doing my doctorate in AI and artificial intelligence. We've got people from Cambridge who've done masters in entrepreneurship from Cambridge. We've got computer scientists and electronic engineers. So in the first year, we train them on the technology itself. In the second year, the first half of the second year, we then tell them how to apply this, whether it's in health, whether it's in transportation, whether it's in government. In the final 6 months, they then do a project where now they do an entrepreneurial idea. And then in the last month of the second year, we then bring in venture capitalists to say these guys have implemented an amazing thing, whether it's a stock exchange, whether it's a new health or hospital platform and so forth. And this is the best in the world. Okay. Maybe like us, maybe it's the first in the world to do it in that sector. And then we say, guys, it's either you can become a shareholder here, or maybe you can even buy these guys out. We're going to be taking 100 people from Light, Fanelo Ndlovu's company, and train them over a 2-year period. We're looking at 100 people. So if you think about it, at the end of the 2 years, we potentially have 100 entrepreneurs on the latest technology. Okay. And the idea is to do this across the continent, whoever is willing to support the program. Yeah. And the great thing with the Mfanelo's program is that the people who get trained are unemployed. They don't have to pay for the program. So the program is completely free. And whilst they're getting trained, they're also getting an income, which is amazing. So you're taking people who are unemployed, training them on the latest technology in the world, cutting edge. You are training them for free. Okay. Whilst you are training them, they're getting an income. And after 2 years, they will be potentially entrepreneurs who are amongst the best in the world. So I'm really excited about this program. And thanks to Mfanelo and his entity for doing this. And obviously, like I said, we're talking to other entities from other countries because, around the world, the big countries like China and America have said that the race really is who is going to be number one in artificial intelligence and blockchain, specifically for IR. And as Africa, we don't just want to be consumers. We want to compete with them as number one. And the good thing is that the technology is at the start. So everyone is starting at the same place. But we want Africa not to be left behind, but to start running with these guys and even in some instances, even beat them. Okay. And that is excitement.
Smelana, I'll come back to you. I want you to further simplify this thing. Ekuthenini ngivile nje uthinta indaba yasemabhange ngifuna ukuthiwa lo ukuthi kahle kahle kwabani, is it for big companies, is it for individuals? Because I want you to speak to the ordinary Liswati on the street. But Mr. Ndlovu, because I understand this work that you are doing with Savili, and you are also a client. How is it changing or transforming the lives of the people out there?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. We are absolutely excited with these kind of opportunities. We know that we are all on a drive to close the digital divide. Africa has been behind for many years. So such partnership really demonstrate what is possible when true sons and daughters of our continent with all the kind of expertise come together, for our people and shift the game. And I think it's an opportunity that is unique for Africa in this time. We've always been behind the scene. The West, Silicon Valley have been doing their own things. China has been leading the game in many ways in Africa. Now, for the first time, we have an opportunity to change the narrative and tell a different story where, we are providing an African solution for African challenges in our socio-economic issues, and especially for our youth. What an incredible way to position them, especially at times, things are changing. Reality is jobs are no longer secure the way we used to in the past, So the narrative where people go and study and get jobs is shifting because AI is coming. Jobs will be done differently. So what a better time and a better program and a better opportunity to be able to position our youth to truly compete against the West and the East, and at least we're going to join the community in making a change in that way. So we are excited about this partnership. Savali is one of our shareholders of Light. Light has so many shareholders, ordinary people, sons and daughters of this continent, on the continent and abroad in diaspora. So we are delighted and excited to be here this morning to share about these things.
Okay, now coming back to you, Mr. Smilana. Utsinze indaba yasemabhange ivile nayo sichaza my interest. Ngiyafuna ukuthola ukuthi the product, is it going to be consumed by the banks to benefit me, the consumer? Noma ngifuna ukuthola ukuthi ngidawatingani mina lo ukuthi ubekusengeka ukuthi kuncenye ngidawubhadala bekufuna ngibhadala 15 ngidawubhadala 7. Exactly.
So thanks, Linton. So it's the platform is for entities. I don't want to say banks.
All right.
So what you get is that you get big banks, what we call retail banks.
Yeah.
Then you get what you call in South Africa they call them CFIs, stokvels.
Yeah.
Right. Stokvels unfortunately don't have platforms.
Yeah.
The reason is that the bank platforms out there that you buy, you need at least 5 million. So the ordinary stokvels can't buy those platforms, but they need those platforms. The good thing about our platform is that it's free. That 5 million, you won't require it. So now stokvels and retail banks can consume this platform, which means that stokvels can run more efficiently. And also you'll find that stokvels can also offer products for their members that are cheaper. And also we also consult with them in terms of how to make money for the community. So it really is for the stokvel. There might be even 100 of you in the community, and it's also for the big banks, because currently the big banks are also looking for platforms to make it cheaper to run their banks so that they can issue people smaller loans. So essentially, any community can now start a bank.
Okay.
And the more competition we have in the banking industry,
True.
the more innovation, the lower the cost will be. And people were previously excluded, or entrepreneurs who wanted to be bankers themselves can now become bankers.
Okay.
Yes.
Ngiyajabulela ukuthi ne community ngaliqala libhanga ngoba nasi siyabuka nje la eSwatini bongo sine building society sine Eswatini bank lengasithi imphanze tabo tila Swatini angisho ukuthi ngithini also read ukuthi your platform is central bank digital currency ready, meaning it can run an entire country payment system. Currently, live government is piloting a bill, a national payment system bill, to harmonize in the public sector. Can this platform come in handy for government as well?
Correct. So, so countries around the world are currently talking, even including Eswatini, about the fact that the payment system is very expensive. Typically, a company pays between 2 and 3% for every transaction. You as a consumer don't see it, but it's included in the price.
Yeah.
For example, in South Africa, the payment was between 1 trillion and 2 trillion a year. So you can calculate 3%. So basically, the economy of the country of South Africa, for example, is paying, let's say, 40 billion just because of the payment system. Now, a digital or a blockchain payment system, which is why China has implemented it, which is why Nigeria is currently implementing, and the US is also wanting to implement it, can take that cost to very little. You can save probably 30 billion by implementing that system. Right? So that's why a lot of countries are excited. And that 30 billion can go back to people's pockets. That means an entrepreneur that was struggling because of this payment is now profitable. So for example, in finance, they talk about margins. Let's say your profit is 3%. And this 3% you are paying the fees to process payments. Now that 3% is not there anymore. That 3% now goes into your pocket. So more businesses will become profitable now. And obviously the consumer will benefit because the prices potentially are going to go down. Okay. So national banks, they're looking at that. So yes, it can apply to that.
I wanna come back to you Mfanelo. Ngimvile simelana khulumeke ukuthi tabeni trainer bantu labatsithi my entrepreneurs. Bakhona laba la Eswatini young people who want to be part of le program lentabeni irana. Kufune bende njani? Nguvile lo ukuthi usilena igame changer. The youth should position themselves ukuthi bakhona ukubenefita ezimhlaba uguquka. Lala bala khathe Eswatini njoba uniseninzima Africa. What exactly can they do to benefit?
Okay, so I think that is an exciting question. We've got very much strong presence in Eswatini. We've got a lot of our shareholders of Light, so they must look out for Light. We are available on a Facebook page, and our contacts, and Tlanta will share with you there so that we can announce those numbers. I am the project manager. Then anyone who wants to participate in our programs can approach us in that way, through our WhatsApp number and our Facebook page, and the local people that are there in Eswatini, we can connect them with.
Okay, finally, thank you so much for coming through. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Now, in closing, Mr. Smelan, le ndzaba lesisikhulume ngawo economics globally shona phansi. 11 nje this what is happening in Ukraine say further senda lesimo kusale siba sibi kakhulu in the financial world le ma products lenwendako can they be a game changer?
Correct. So let me just give you some insight. So China is leading at the moment in the technologies that I'm talking about. Even during the crisis, the COVID crisis, China was still improving. The economy was still improving. China, they were saying, we're creating 2 new billionaires a day. So these technologies are definitely game changers. If a country grabs a hold of these technologies and starts to lead, they can definitely be ahead. And just to finalize, blockchain jobs increased 33 times last year. The next best, I think, was about 12. So even though people are losing jobs in some sectors are actually improving. People are actually gaining jobs in those sectors. The challenge for every country is that are you going to prepare your people to then be in those sectors so that instead of losing employment, because your people know those skills, you can actually change the narrative such that your people actually improve and get employment. So instead of having a negative employment rate, you have a positive employment rate. But it's up to each country to prepare people to take advantage of that. And initiatives like the Fourth Industrial Revolution that we are championing through Light are avenues for a country to move forward.
Okay. Bongose besikhulumisana na babe simelane lanhlanhla simelane siteka indzaba lenkulu kati kuseneni njengoba umhlaba uthuthuka nje lendzaba i4th Industrial Revolution indzaba lekhona kuseneni kumcoka ke kuseneni abantu ba deposition kahle nemavena nawo ayi embrace lema technologies lawa kude level thuthuke nemnotho ithuthuke bongose sibatshela imakethe sibuya siqhubeke nalo hlelo lomhla ekseni.